Hello Noah. I'm just going to help you out a little bit with the functions and in particular the ice cream cone activity, and that should help you actually for the terminal velocity and for the BMI as well, and anything else that deals with functions. So what I'll do is I'll show you an example site first of all of one that a student had completed this semester, and then also take you through how to use the function and just sort of like some basics of it, and I'll post that example on your server as well, so you can take a look at the example after we go through it right now. So what you'll see here is the total volume of an ice cream. So this student did a nice background, they had a title, they wrote what the activity was about, which is fantastic. They wrote out the equations that were required, and then they even had a diagram showing this is the cone and this is the this is the ice cream and this is the cone, and then they tell you how to use the form. So just some basic stuff for each of the activities. So in this case, they have an input form, so you can put in a 1, a 2, hit calculate, and it says the volume of the ice cream cone is 4 point such and such cubic centimeters. So, and they use a function to do that. If they leave it empty, it says the volume of the ice cream cone is 0, because both of these inputs are 0 in that case. Okay, so how do you use a function to make this type of calculator? So what I'll do is I've created a little example here for you to sort of help you out, and that's from here with the so I called it functions example, and what we're going to do is create a function, and let me just pull it up, pull up the activity. Here we go. Alright, so what we've got here is an opportunity where I've got a basic site like so, and what we have here is your basic document type, your HTML title tag, your head, and the body here, and then we end the body and we've got a form. So the first thing you want to do is make a form and maybe make a title here, so we just might say H1 function example, like so, and if I save it and then upload it and reload, you'll see it says function example. Good. Okay, so what we're going to do now is make a function. So let's just make a function, I don't know, that calculates the area of a rectangle. So area of rectangle. Just keep it something simple that we can do. So what we're going to do is inside our form, which has method post, which is important, we're going to create input type equals, we'll just make it a text box to make it easy. We'll give it a name called length, and the value is nothing at this point. And we can do placeholder equals length, like so. Input, and I'll copy that, and we'll make one for width, placeholder width, and the last type is, of course, we need to input the form, so input type equals submit, and the name, we'll call it sub button 1 in case we have multiple ones. Value, this is what it's going to be called. Say calculate area, like so. I'm just going to put a line break here and here. Now there's no styles in this right now. We're just going to do the basics of it, the very basics. And if I upload this like so, and we view it, there we go. Now if I put in information in here, it doesn't do anything. All it does is load the page, and that's fine. We don't really need to do anything else right now. I'm going to add some attributes to this and say autocomplete equals no. That way it won't pop up with options for the values that we have. Alright, so now let's get to do something. I want to output the calculation. So I'm going to start the PHP and end the PHP. Now I don't even have to put anything in there. I can just do this, and do this, and you'll see that, oh, I guess the autocomplete still showing up. Okay, so what we're going to do now is create the actual, do the actual work for this. So the big thing is that you want to do if $_post. Now we call the button sub button 1, like so. So if sub button 1, that means if it's been pressed, we're going to do stuff. So we're going to say store the variables. So we're going to store the length as capital L. It doesn't matter what you store it as. Post, and then we call this length. So that was the value of the name of the variable from the, so this right here has to match the name right there. And then I'm going to store one for the width. Actually, I'm going to make this lowercase l. Then I'm going to make this lowercase w, and here I'm going to put width, like so. Alright, so at this point what we're going to do is we want to calculate the area. Now I could just do length times width, but we want to use a function so we can practice how to use functions. So what I would say is I would just make a function and say, oh, I want to calc the area. You can call it whatever you want, and I'm going to send in the length and the width. So like this, and that's all you'd have to do. And then from there, what we need to do is create that function. So anywhere outside of that, we have to actually do the calculation of the area. We have to get the function, like so, calc area, and we have to send in the length and the width so it knows what to calculate, like that. And in here we just go area equals $length times $width, like so. Then what we do is we return the value that comes out. Alright, and so what it says is if we submit the button, get the values, put them in as the arguments of our function, and then the function says, oh, calculate the area and return it. Now it won't do anything unless I do that. I have to say echo the calculation of the area, and when you upload it, like so, you will now see that 4 times 4 is 16, 5 times 5, 25. So we've used a function to do it. Now you could go a step further and you could say, we'll put this in a paragraph tag and say the area is like that when length equals $L and width equals $width, like so, and close it up, save it, upload it, and when you view it, you will see that it'll now say the area is 25 when the length is 5 and the width is 5. Whatever I put in here, you're now going to get 180 when 3 times 60 gives us that. Another way to store it is you could have done this, store the area, which equals, so I could do the calculation of the area from the function like this, and then down here just echo out the area like so. So for the ice cream cone activity, this will give the same result. So for the ice cream cone activity, what you're going to be doing is you're going to have two functions, and you'll be storing the radius of the cone and the height. And what you'll do is you'll call two functions, one that calculates the volume of the ice cream cone, or half of it, because it's a sphere, half of a sphere, and then add the volume of the cone, and that will give you the total volume. But you're going to do it using functions in pretty much the exact same way I just showed, using a function for the calculation of the area. Alright, let me know if this helps and if you have any more questions.